Alright y'all, welcome back to another video on the channel. I told y'all in the last video I am posting consistently, so make sure you hit that bell to get notified whenever I post on the channel. I just want to say thank you so much. I know that was a lot of so's, but thank you. Thank you so much for almost 600 subscribers. 600 subscribers. I'm almost at 600 subscribers. I just hit 500. Like I think I hit 500 like on the 18th, I think, or near the 18th of last month. We've been growing pretty fast, and I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers that have came over. Thank you so much. Hit that bell though, because I need you to watch all my content so it can get in people's recommended, so we can get other people to the channel. So today we have some scary horror stories, some scary animated horror stories. Y'all know this is a series on my channel that I do all the time. I don't want to do too much talking. Let's get straight into it. Subscribe if you are new. Love and appreciate you, and let's go. All right, this first one is from IMR Scary Tales. I've never heard of this animated channel, and there's a lot of animated channels around. When I reacted to the last one, I think they messaged me. No, it was a YouTube comment. They said thank you for reacting to our animations, and they put me on their channel. They put me on their feed on their channel. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but yeah. And I think that's dope that, you know, channels, that animation channels really look out for people that react to their content. I think that's really dope. But this one is called My Horrible School Experience, 2 horror stories animated. Let's go.
When I was in high school, I lived in a small town in the Midwest.
Make sure you got your snacks. Make sure you got your popcorn, because we're going to be sitting here for like a solid 15 minutes at least. So make sure you go get your snacks, pause the video, go do what you got to do. Alright? Alright.
I worked at a historic but failing dual-screen theater. Unfortunately, the building itself was on its last leg, and the interior cosmetic renovations hadn't been made since the mid-'80s, when a wall was built over the original stage and converted into a cinema. However, I adored the building, and was deeply saddened by its decrepit state. Many of the locals didn't care much for the theater once they started showing movies, and business dropped enormously from then to when I was employed there in 2007. Most of my shifts I barely saw more than a dozen people for each showing, if that. Some days we didn't even have a single person come in. My manager and I eventually became good friends, and he gave me a key to perform nightly janitorial duties. Needless to say, I was psyched. I loved the idea of coming in after hours to work and try to make the theater look more presentable, and not a typical smelly discount shithole. I would purchase cleaning supplies myself, and brought my mom's vacuum in because the theater didn't have one.
I don't know why that's so funny.
I tried as much as a 17-year-old could to make the place more attractive, because it seemed everyone else gave up on her. One Friday night at around 12 a.m., I decided to borrow my uncle's steam cleaner to clean up the seats in the second theater. It was a lengthy task, but I had just got done smoking a joint with a buddy, and I had no issue finishing my night off listening to music.
You smoking on the
cleaning
job?
With a buzz. I entered the theater as usual and began completing petty tasks before tackling the big job. Eventually, I entered the second theater and experienced a very uneasy feeling. I have never felt uncomfortable in there before, but for some reason I couldn't shake this pressing feeling on my chest. I assumed I was a little panicky from the pot. I turned my music down and started getting to work to try and get my mind off it. I had my back facing the screen and was scrubbing the second to last row near the exit, when I suddenly heard a lot of rustling coming from behind the screen. This didn't come as much of a shock, considering that we've had pest issues in some of the storage rooms behind the screens. Thinking it was a raccoon trying to hide after hearing the drowning noise of my
That ain't no raccoon.
Cleaner, I continued on and didn't pay much mind to it, until the rustling became very distinct.
Wait. Even if that is a raccoon, you don't pay attention to the raccoon? Raccoons are dangerous. Raccoons are dangerous. Do you not know what raccoons can do?
Whatever the noise was coming from under the screen inside the large metal grate that leads to the stage behind the screen. and whatever it was big. I turned my cleaner off and stared at the grate,
Ain't no
practically
raccoon.
frozen in fear and continuing to reassure
Now you wanna
myself
get
that it was a
scared.
raccoon or maybe even a dog or something. The noise became more prominent, and after what seemed like hours of me just staring at the grate, trying to determine what the creature was, the metal grate made a slow and ominous screeching noise as it began to push out from the inside. I continued to stare in intense fear as I witnessed what came tumbling out. A nearly bald head with a couple of strands of gray dirty hair greeted me before an old naked woman absolutely covered in dirt.
Yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Can I even show that? Can I even show that on, bro? Bro, I don't even want to look at it. Bro, what is that? Bro, oh my god. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Now I gotta erase that from my memory. I don't ever want to see that again, bro. Oh my gosh, now it's in my head. Oh my gosh. Why? Why?
Insects and blood came crawling out on all fours and looked directly at me. She paused as she was fully out and forcefully grinning at me with her toothless mouth. I'm not sure how much time went by.
I wouldn't even be
but
scared.
I honestly felt like my feet had melted into the floor. I truly thought I was hallucinating. The way she was positioned like that seemed unreal,
Oh my
and although I was
gosh.
terrified,
No,
I think
that
I
in
was
my
more
head,
perplexed
bro.
by her contour. I thought she was a character from Silent Hill I had hallucinated, and that I was tripping on some really bad weed. This is what was playing over and over again
That's
in my
why you
mind.
don't. That's why you don't
Until
smoke on
she
the
started
job.
crawling very quickly towards me.
Come on,
without
bro.
saying
I
a
get it.
single
I
word,
get it. I get
maintaining
it.
her grin with her head cocked back and her sagging breasts bouncing back and forth,
I don't
hitting
wanna
her
see
bloody
that.
arms and smearing dirt and blood together.
It's like wherever
At that
I look,
moment,
I can't
pissed
look away.
myself and jumped over the last 2 rows of seats. I still can't believe I did that in one leap, and ran as fast as I could to the exit door. I could hear distant shuffling as I slammed the door behind me, locked it, and ran to the police station, which was a couple of buildings away. I gave them the key, called my manager, and told them I wasn't going back.
Yeah.
The woman who crawled after me, according to the police, was a homeless schizophrenic meth addict who decided to take up residency under the screen after managing to enter through a small opening from the outside of the building. When they arrived, she was crawling around in circles in the lobby. It appeared to them that she had been staying there for at least a week to shoot up meth, and she more than likely watched me on my janitor.
How you shoot up meth in a theater, bro? Why? Oh my god, and she's right there. Oh my gosh, she is right there. It's like wherever I look. I look this way. She's right there. I look this way. She's right there. It's like I can't escape.
Grinning that toothless grin as I swept away, unaware of her being there. It was definitely the absolute scariest moment of my life, and needless to say, I stopped coming in by myself to clean up. Since then, the place has closed and is completely boarded up.
Keep it closed,
I
bro.
miss it
Keep it
greatly,
closed. Keep it
but
closed.
whenever I come back to the area, I still wonder if she's sleeping in there.
Alright, y'all. This is the second story to this whole part. Just to let you know so people don't get confused. Creepy school stalker.
This happened to me when I was in 11th grade. I'm a female, and I tend to be a people pleaser.
Sound like
I never
a
like to
grown man.
call anyone out, reject anyone outright, or act like someone is being weird. I'm also a bit open-minded, and I tend to go with the flow. School started in early September, and in my marine biology class, I noticed that...
Bro, my dude over there is built like a whole M.
There was this boy that kept staring at me from the corner of my eye. I just made one of those half smiles towards him to acknowledge him, and went on about my assignment. I really did not think much of it for a couple of weeks, even though he continued to stare.
He just
He
looked
was
like a
very
creep.
skinny and tall, had brown hair. His eyes were so brown that they looked black. He had a generally nondescript face, other than his super dark eyes. One day he decided to say hi. I said hello back to him, and he told me his name, which was Alex. I told him mine, but he said that he already knew my name. That wasn't a surprise, as I have rather
My bad.
large
I'm just
handwriting,
thinking of something.
and he could have easily watched me write my name down on one of my papers, since he was staring at me so much. It was kind of odd that he didn't really have any facial expression when he flatly said that he knew my name. I just sort of laughed it off, said, "Oh, okay," and began putting my things in my bag as the bell was about to ring. I only had a few friends, and we always sat at the same table during lunch. We were all rather quiet, and most times read while we ate. That means I usually don't look around the lunchroom, as I have my eyes in my book. This day my friend finished her novel, so I decided to put mine away and just talk. I immediately noticed Alex staring inside at us from the courtyard tables. He never seemed to be embarrassed that I noticed him. I showed him to my friend and told her about my class with him. She found it to be super creepy, but I said he's probably harmless and was just socially awkward. I arrived in marine biology a little early later that day, and so it was just myself, Alex, and one other girl for about 10 minutes. I did that half smile at Alex, and then decided to break out my book and start reading again.
Dude.
He had his hands folded
Hit
over his
him.
mouth.
Do something.
And was staring again. This time, it just felt awkward, because we were basically alone now. I glanced over at him and kind of raised my eyebrows, as if to say, "Yes?" He looked me up and down very slowly, and I asked him if he was okay. He said yes, and that he was just inside of his head, thinking, "Okay, whatever, that's fine." The next day at lunch, there was a little piece of paper on the table that we sat at. It had my name on the front. Not just my first name, my first and middle name. I opened it, and it said something like, "I wonder what your would look like with a PVC pipe shoved up it."
What?
What? What the f? I looked around. I didn't see Alex, but I immediately knew it was him. I was very scared to come to class later that day, but he wasn't there. I felt
Why
a
do
lot
these
better
people
about
never
not
tell
seeing
the
him.
authorities?
The note itself was gross and embarrassing. I didn't want to show any administrators because of that.
After 6'9", people scared to snitch.
I went to the bus area at the end of the day, like usual. But this time, I noticed Alex leaning on one of the pillars with his backpack on one shoulder. I literally felt chills down my spine when I noticed a white PVC pipe poking out of the top of his backpack through the zippers. I didn't give him any reaction to my knowledge, even though I'm sure he had watched me read the note. The next morning, I made an appointment with a counselor and had my class changed. She was very reluctant to do that for me, because we were already in the school year well over a month and a half. But I think since I have a history of good grades and behavior, she helped me out. I spent the rest of the year avidly avoiding him. He kept staring at me at lunchtime, and one time he took photos of me at the bus area without my consent. Even though it was against school policy, I got some pepper spray for when I get off at my bus stop. I have no clue what happened to him, because when 12th grade began, he was no longer at our school. I'm not sure if I even want to know how he turned out.
So he just disappeared, huh? Alright, this next one is by Horror Shorts Party. I don't know who that is. This is the first time that we reacted to their animation. So, Horror Shorts Party, if you are watching this, your links will be in the description. This is called True Omegle Chat Room Horror Story, animated. Alright, let's get straight into it. Horror Shorts Party. Narrated by Terrence Nicholson.
This story happened to me a couple years ago. It happened on a Saturday night. I was typing out a school report for my English class and was pretty worn out from the tedious amount of thinking that transpired throughout the paper. I decided to take a break and procrastinate a little bit, maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos. I needed to take some stress off my mind, but didn't really have anyone to vent or talk to. This gave me the idea to visit a chat room called Omegle. For those of you who don't know what Omegle is, random strangers online through your computer webcam.
Omegle?
Needless to say, Omegle definitely helped with my social skills growing up as a child.
Is it Omegle?
So I was always
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Omegle?
I remember
Omegle?
this one particular
I don't
night.
know.
I was having trouble meeting new people.
Y'all probably gonna roast me
This
because I
left
said it
me
wrong, huh?
a little frustrated to say the least, but that's the
Okay.
kind of thing to expect when you're on these kind of chat sites. That's when I stumbled upon this one guy. He looked to be around the same age group as myself and seemed like a pretty harmless individual. I decided to say hi.
Yo, it is actually the next day. It is actually the next day that I am recording this because my SD card got full. So I had to delete some stuff. I would have just set it up like right after I just deleted some stuff, but like I had to do other things anyway, so I just postponed the video until the day you're watching. So it would have been out yesterday, but you know, it's out today. Yeah, I'm not gonna do too much talking. I just wanted to let you know that. That's why, you know, I don't have my hoodie on or anything like that. So let's get straight into it.
He didn't say anything back, he just typed the word hi in the chat box. I found it kind of weird that he would go through the effort of typing out hi as opposed to just saying hi verbally. He then waved at me and began typing something else. He introduced himself in the chat box saying, "My name is Daniel, what's your name?" I verbally said, "My name is James, how are you?" He then stares at the camera and doesn't say a word to me, completely dismissing the fact that I just asked him a question. At this point, I was convinced that this had to be some sort of pre-recorded video and that someone was just trolling me. That's when he began typing in the chat box again, saying, "I'm deaf, please type in the chat box unless you know sign language." I honestly felt stupid and immediately typed, "No worries, my name is James," and gave a quick thumbs up as an act of kind gesture. He immediately typed back saying, "Nice to meet you, James," and gave me a thumbs up as well. He then typed something else that left me dumbfounded. He said, "I will use my whiteboard to chat with you going forward because my hands will be occupied." I was confused by what he meant by that, so I typed, "What do you mean by your hands being occupied?" He then starts writing on a whiteboard and raises it up on the screen, which read, "Want to play a game?"
Nope.
I typed, "Sure, what game you want to play?" What he did next is something I will never forget to this day. He held a revolver up with one hand and the whiteboard up with the other hand, saying, "Let's play Russian roulette." I was honestly quite creeped out by this guy and was contemplating on clicking the stop option to skip this weirdo. That's when he wrote another message on the whiteboard saying, "1 of 6." I was confused by what 1 of 6 meant. He then took the revolver, slipped one bullet inside the cylinder, and began spinning it with his other hand. I now knew what he meant by 1 of 6. It seemed like the guy was about to demonstrate an act of Russian roulette with one bullet in the cylinder of 6. He then puts the revolver against his head. I began typing, "What are you doing? Please stop this." The guy then smiles disturbingly on the camera and pulls the trigger.
Gosh.
Nothing happened. He starts laughing hysterically like a psycho. I was honestly disturbed, but also skeptical that the gun was real, so I typed, "Is that even real?" He then points the revolver at the wall and begins to repeatedly press the trigger until the shot was fired. I was completely blown away by what I was seeing and typed,
Why'd that make me jump?
"Dude, you could have died!" That's when the guy raised the whiteboard to the screen again, showing the message, 5 of 6. I frantically started typing, "Don't do it," repeatedly in the chat box, desperately trying to get his attention. He then began loading the revolver with 5 bullets while I gestured no by waving my hands back and forth like a lunatic. I knew the odds of him surviving this time were slim to none.
Yeah.
He then raises the revolver against his head once again and begins to disturbingly smile, with tears running down his face. He began mumbling the words.
This not no Omegle stuff or Omegle. This is some dark.
I immediately slammed my laptop shut as I hear a gunshot a split second before the laptop was fully closed. I was left baffled on my computer desk.
There's some dark room
I hadn't a clue what to do.
I don't know.
I stupidly opened my laptop up with my eyes closed. I press my hand against the screen where the
Why
video
I
chat
gotta
was
see?
located.
Bro, blur that
I
out.
open my eyes, and through the cracks of my fingers, I can see blood displayed everywhere on his screen. I immediately click the exit button on the Google Chrome tab and call it a night. To this day,
Never mind.
I'm still skeptical about what I saw that night. I haven't reported anything to the police, nor
Like
have
you
I
haven't
reported
slept in
anything to a medical.
days.
I'm not sure if that was the wisest decision, but I hope I never encounter anyone like that again.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Anyone like that. I'm not sure if that was the wisest decision, but I hope I never encounter anyone like that again.
You got back on. You got back on. What? Oh my, bro. Bro, I don't want to see that. That is so crazy, bro. I've heard plenty of stories like that, like just stuff going on in like red rooms and things like that. So yeah, I'll make sure to be safe out there, man. Be safe. Just be safe, period. I hope you enjoyed this video. This stuff was a little bit more darker, maybe, I guess that's the word, of what we would usually watch. I might change up who I watch based on, you know, this, because this is the first time, you know, we reacted to these type of people. I wanted to introduce new animators to the channel, but if you guys don't mind it, then, you know, I'll continue to react to these people. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Actually, by the time of this recording, we have reached 600 subscribers, bro. 600 subscribers, bro. We have reached 600 subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for 600 subscribers. Journey to 700. You know, my goal for this month was to reach 700 subscribers. So, you know, hopefully we can get there. Love you. Appreciate you. Peace out.